Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Pacey. I'm one of the lecturers in pharmacy, and I'm going to talk a little bit about storyline today. Although the title is really a debate in a way, but I think my point is just to share with you how I see a comparison between what most of us are more familiar with, which is PowerPoint, and how does it different from a storyline, basically. So this is the articulate storyline that I'm going to talk a little bit about. It's really a tool that is actually mainly used to create interactive e-learning program or course in a way. If anyone have experience doing any sort of package in that, if you want it to be interactive in the past, as I know it requires a lot of programming knowledge and all that. So the wonderful thing is this one doesn't require. I'm totally a pharmacist, so I don't learn any coding or anything like that. But I managed to do a few just using this software. So it's really quite a user-friendly software, easy to use. There'll be 3 key points that probably I would like to highlight somehow why I probably prefer or somehow use a lot of storyline in my designing of e-learning package. The first thing that I really like a lot is the interactive slide inside. It can look very nice sometimes if you know how to make it. Quizzes, it allows you to make quizzes into it. The last thing that I really like is the interaction with the user. Okay? If you see a PowerPoint presentation that I'm doing at the moment, I talk, you listen. You don't decide what I talk. I say what I want to say. I show you what I show you. So this is a typical PowerPoint that we are looking at. But I will show you a little bit different. How does storyline would make it a bit different in terms of the experience of the user or the audience themselves? Before I start, I would like to share with you just how a storyline looks like. But before I start, I just want to show you an example of a PowerPoint slide. I'm sure everyone is familiar with PowerPoint slide. Okay, my typical teaching part of it is communication skills. So it's a lot of practical skills sometimes. So this is one of the slides that I normally use for students. Example, point, communication skills. Versus what is open, what is closed communication. Okay, and let me just show you how would it look like if I put it into a storyline. All right, so this is a typical storyline feature, which I have done already. Okay, the first thing you realize that I can actually type my name into it. So very personal in a way. Okay, all right. So once I do that, you'll see the heading, my name pop up again. Okay, you can totally engage with me. So I can do it just at home, anytime, anywhere. All right. Okay, and the first question asked here is, back to whatever in the slide just now, open-ended questions. So I have 2 choices here. As you can see, as I move around, things move very nicely. Okay, all right. So if you click to here, you realize I moved to another slide. Okay, of course, if you're very good, you can keep on doing. Okay, and what you will show and all this again. And next, if you see, if I want to, I can put some quizzes in between. The good thing is the choices of quizzes a lot. This is the one that is most commonly seen. Okay, and you can have pop-up answers immediately, so students can pace themselves at any point that they want to. All right. Even they can drag and pull if they want to. So you can see the interactions are a little bit more interesting compared to a lot of other even matching. You can match that. All right. So it's just a very easy, sort of a self e-learning interaction session. You can actually learn quite a lot. Students get scores at the end. All right, they can review all the answer back again. Okay, you can see that. Okay, next. All right, so let's say you exceed. Let's try it again. We'll see whether we can do. Okay, so this is just one example. I'll just show you another one that we actually do it. Actually, that one I just want to show you how does it compare if I just have one topic. But this is one of the one that we actually use for our lesson. Okay, this is a package that we actually designed for our SEM 3 students because they're going for placement. Okay. So what you see at the back here is actually an insertion of a video. So what we've done is that we have inserted a video behind this. Okay, and that allowed any music, any types of audio things that you want to put in. So it's very convenient. Okay. So let's say we want to move in, out. So next slide. All right. So what you see next is all the different buttons that I've shown you. So different things will allow you to do different things. So if you want to do test yourself, quiz, you can add that. If you want more lecture, PowerPoint, you want to show the students certain flow of things, you can do that as well. Okay, just example, like let's say we go in this. We put another video, okay, okay, questions in between, all right, okay. So you can have answer pop up again, okay, and you can sequence that, okay. Another video to end it, okay, and it can go back. You see, once it go back to the slide, the purple color illustrates that the students have actually done that part already. So the student know that as well, okay? So if you want to move on to the next part, they can do that, okay?
I basically make sure that when patients...
This is a video again.
They're on the right medication, the doses are correct, so they're adjusted for renal patients.
Okay, so you can show the flow and all that as well, okay? All right, okay. So there are many things that you can actually do with basically articulate storyline. I think sometimes it all depends on how creative you are. Okay, back to it, as I mentioned, it's interactive. It's an interactive slide that you're doing. You can add a lot of quizzes in between. But one thing you realize is very good for storyline, you know. You can do it for according to a storyline, you know, and it's very good for scenario-based types of learning. So for anything that's related, I mean, of course, because I teach pharmacy and we talk a little bit about a lot about patient interaction and all that. So that makes things very interesting for them. So you're like showing them how, you know, animation using a real life person and how it would be. So, and as I mentioned before, it's usually tailored to the user interaction. Okay, so the story can change if you click some other button. You know, different button can lead you to a different storyline. So that's another beauty of it. Okay. All right, we've done that, okay? So before I end, I just want to highlight that, I mean, in my opinion, I think, if we're talking pure presentation, I won't fight with PowerPoint, right? Because I'm still using PowerPoint a lot of time in our presentation. Yes, I am now. One thing that I will have to say that's good about presentation that storyline don't have is the animation. You see what I did, like, you know, this one? The flying in, whichever option that you want. Storyline didn't have that many. I think the new version has a more, but has less in a way. But PowerPoint allowed you to read the slide, you listen if there's an audio or a person talking, you watch, maybe you can insert video as well. So it's really an instructor-led presentation. But in comparison, I think what we highlight here, storyline, is you read, you listen if I put audio into it, you watch it, but what makes it very different from others is that you do. You can apply things, you can evaluate things, you can do much more interaction with it as what you have designed. So it has to be something that is what we call like really interactive e-learning, okay? All right, but to be very honest, it's much more complicated to be done. It takes quite a while to actually design a good package, all right, a nice one that students will like it. Even though we have many that we have done, I wouldn't say all students say they like it. There tend to be some that's a mixture of different opinions. And take a lot of time to create, okay? But I would say that the impact are quite good for students who like to learn themselves and pace their own learning, because it involves a lot of learners be involved in designing how they do it, and they can always redo it anytime that they want to. There's no limit that it can only go through this presentation one time, all right? Okay, I think that's all my debate, so-called. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Maybe this one is for the recording. This one for my recording and for the audience.
Okay, so I still need to use this.
Need to do.
Okay. All right. Okay, good morning. Welcome everyone. I'm going to give you about a 5-10 minute introduction to Prezi. Some of you may have heard of it before, some of you may not. Who have heard about Prezi? Just raise your hands. Who's using Prezi? Once only. Who's using Prezi? Just keep your hands up and just show me. Once, half a time is also okay. 0.5, 0.25 is also okay. Made one slide but never used it is also fine. All right. So What I'm going to do today is I'm just going to show you a few, 3 or 4 of my Prezi slides. And they don't look like Prezi. Now, why do I like Prezi? What's Prezi? Prezi is basically a Hungarian word for presentation. It's a contraction, spelled P-R-E-Z-Y. Now, it's available on the internet, and the reason why I like it is it's F-R-E-E. Okay? That's the only reason. There are no other reasons. Okay, there are other reasons, but the main reason why I like it is it's F-R-E-E, free. If you sign up, and I now will sound as if I own the company, I don't. If you sign up using your educational email account, you get up to 500 megabytes of space for your Prezi. That's a lot, okay? That's a lot. If you sign up using your ilookgood@hotmail.com or iamsexy@gmail.com account, you only get 200 megabytes. So sign up with your educational account, okay? Beyond that, then you have to pay. If you want a bigger account, you will have to pay. So it's possible to create your Prezis online using your computer. But what I've done is, and why I love Prezi a lot more, is because you can present it using the iPad. And this is an example of a Prezi on the iPad. I've imported certain slides, right? Certain slides I've already imported, and it's very interactive. Prezi uses what's known as the ZUI. ZUI stands for the Zoom User Interface. ZUI, Zoom. Whereas in PowerPoints and other instruments or other software, they show you slide after slide after slide. What Prezi does, oh, you get a headache doing this, right? Pening sikit, You can zoom in and you can zoom out, right? That's the power of Prezi. And what it does, it allows you a canvas. It gives you one canvas. It's a huge canvas which you can place your slides on. And then you speak by pointing out to the areas of the canvas. You can see I'm just moving from slide to slide. But watch, this is one thing that Prezi can do that other tools can't do. I'm going to use the iPad and I'm going to show you, I'm going to pinch. I'm going to jump to another slide. I totally jumped to a totally different slide. And what can that do? What is it? It means that Prezi allows for non-linear presentation. For those of us who are lecturers or those of us who love non-linear presentation, that's a very powerful tool. Sometimes you don't want to go from slide 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 and end to slide number 55. There are times you've got a ton of material there, and depending on the question from the students or the audience, you may need to jump to slide number 77. Where is that? Where the iPad comes in very strongly, and watch this. I can turn it because I'm interacting with the iPad. Okay? That's the power of it. And say, for example, if I want to go to this slide called Analyzing, just tap it and I'll jump there. So it uses, firstly, a canvas. It uses the ZUI, which is the Zoom user interface. Thirdly, you interact with it. And hence, it's not very boring. Okay? Now, I've shown you just one Prezi. Let me show you another one. What else you can do to the Prezi? This is another talk of mine. This is normally done during the BTL or the FTL, the Foundation of Teaching License, which I previously had done with Prof. Victor Lim. I show my audience the outcomes. And then beyond that, there is absolutely no more frames or slides. Watch how the slide goes. I no longer use a frame or a slide. I basically use images and posters. And this is another way to do the presentation. I interact with it. I ask audience questions. I come back. I review. I go back. I ask another question. I ask them about responsiveness. And basically, I give them an answer, what is the responsiveness associated to. So it becomes absolutely very, very interactive. And here in this particular slide, I can use the space to interact with. And don't forget, this is highly interactive, so I can pull and push and pinch and go to another area of the slide if I want to. Non-linear presentation, right? So that's where its main power is. Now, what's the other reason why I like Prezi? The other reason is because I come from a background of doing too much presentation. So yes, okay, instead of Pacey, who started with PowerPoint, okay, I have to lay claim to my age by saying that I actually started with Harvard Graphics. And for those of you who knew Harvard Graphics, you would know Harvard Graphics is the precursor to PowerPoint. Yeah, that's a long time ago. Right? And then from there, because a lot of our presentations need to be non-linear, because I need to be able to judge where the audience is going in terms of the question, how I need to present it to them, and what information I need to reveal. That meant that I originally used Director and Flash for my presentation. And if you know Director and Flash, these were originally programs used by Macromedia. Now, obviously, Adobe had bought them. So Director and Flash enable me to create non-linear presentations. So the next iteration was this, Prezi. It took a long time. It took about 15 years before Prezi came up, and this made life a lot easier for me as a creator of content. Director, for example, would take me about 2 weeks to create something, a presentation. Flash, on the other hand, would usually take me anywhere between 1 month to 2 months for a presentation. So it's a lot of time, a lot of investment in terms of time. But Prezi, what you saw here, basically a few hours. If you've got all the slides and you've got the concept very clear in your head, you can do this in just a matter of hours. Now let me show you another thing, another slide of mine, in which I use Prezi as well. And this is a rather unusual one. It's rather unusual because you might recognize this. Do you recognize this screen? Silence. How many of you own an iPhone? Yeah, there's at least one hand. I mean, okay, the rest of you are either other users, of course. All right? If you own an iPhone, you would know something called Siri. Correct? Siri is basically the personal voice assistant which Apple has integrated into the iPhone and the iPad. What I've done now is this particular presentation used Siri as if I'm doing my interaction with Siri and asking her question. Well, let's have a quick watch. I introduce the audience to what my presentation is, how I'm going to do it, and then I follow by a question.
You can find it in the following reference from the Department of Health UK, entitled High Quality for All, published in 2009. In this publication, we expect that the public will have increased expectations on healthcare. There will also be a large elderly population. IT and information will also be easily accessible by all. Additionally, there will be advances in genomics, and we will see it applied to the frontline medicine. There will also be an increase in diseases related to lifestyle, and finally and not least, there will be an increased emphasis on wellness as opposed to medication.
How did I do this presentation? Basically, I asked Siri a question, I tapped the iPad, and Prezi immediately gave me the answer. And then I follow on by saying, Siri, is that the only healthcare scenario that we can expect?
You think. No, this is not all. I have found the following reference. In Crossing the Quality Chasm, published by the Institute of Medicine in 2001, they have indicated 6 specific aims for improvement in the healthcare system.
Right. And so on and so forth. You can see, right, how did I do this? How did I create this? I created an illusion as if I'm asking Siri and she is, like Google, okay, searching for information in the cloud, pulling it in, presenting it. I basically crafted a presentation with this information. I took the information, I typed it in as a text, converted the text to voice synthesizer, created a soundtrack. So what you're hearing is actually a soundtrack a text to voice synthesizer, and basically whenever I turn the slide, basically what you're hearing is the soundtrack. So it's as if, I'm actually pulling wool over your eyes, it's as if I'm asking Siri questions, and Siri, being the very smart one, knows all the answers. And it gives you the answers. Now, when is this type of presentation available? How can you do it? Quite simple. When you are dealing with larger crowds, when you're dealing with diverse crowds, you want to get their attention, when you need to go directly to the point. I can see myself using this when I'm dealing with final year students or more advanced students, whereby I'm no longer going to disseminate information. I'm going to use information and use it to start discussions. Okay? And Siri can do that. How long did it take me to do this? It's about an hour after I dreamt up the process. So you need to be able to dream up the process first. Okay? So, in total, what I want to summarize is, what can you use Prezi for? Prezi is yet another alternative, all right, to all the presentation tools that you have out there. What is it useful for? Well, if you want it to be interactive, if you want to make it and bring it along with you, you can see that I've actually downloaded all my Prezis or my presentations onto the iPad, so it's with me at all times. It's free, okay, it's reasonably free, of course. As an educationist, if you own a .edu account, okay, you can sign up for free, okay. As an educationist, and because I give a lot of feedback to Prezi, I actually got a 4 gigabyte account. So that's the advantage if you actually give them lots and lots of feedback. So you get tons of space to work with. And nowadays, with the iPad, you can create your Prezi. You can also edit your Prezi on the go on the iPad, making it fast to make small little editing changes as well. Okay? And on top of that, no, I've not shown you, but it is possible to place in videos and other soundtracks on your presentation. So you can also play videos during your Prezi. So this is where I'd like to stop. I think I've shown you, a very quick overview of what the Prezi can do. And I welcome the next presenter, Zaid, who would talk about the one and only PowerPoint. Zaid.
For Muslims, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and the rest, good before noon. Okay, my mouse is not working here, so it's okay. I'll just use the touchscreen. Now, my presentation is, I don't have a presentation, okay? I have, which mic? This one. Okay, I always discourage people to use a karaoke mic when you do presentation using any device. Anyway, this is my presentation, okay? Now, we talked about Articulate, it's a great tool for interactivity. We talked about Prezi, which is great for zooming and doing a lot of stuff. But I think in the end of the day, most people are going to still be stuck with either PowerPoint or Keynote, okay? Until further notice. Even Prezi is coming closer to PowerPoint now as they evolve. So but anyway, instead of saying, I think all of you know PowerPoint quite well, but what I'm going to do now for the next 10 minutes, I'm going to share with you some stuff with PowerPoint that you might know or you might not know and might help you in your presentations. And I think one of the most powerful things about, you like that transition? This is PowerPoint 2013. Is that PowerPoint has a lot of cool features which I'm going to show you now, and I'm going to do it for you live because that's the power of PowerPoint. It's not in the points, it's that it's very user-friendly and you can do a lot of things, okay? So this is some stuff, but I'm going to show you with one hand. Okay, I'm going to go outside there, crash, okay. Now one of the things that you do well is the screen will disappear. That's one of the things with PowerPoint. I don't know why it's disappearing. Yeah, I don't know if that's the projector or PowerPoint. Can someone help me here? Why is that? Why is it disappearing? It was working fine. Can I have those added half a minute? Okay, I'll do the old-fashioned way. Okay, put back. Okay. Okay, I will continue in 30 seconds if I don't get this on. I'll continue, and you have to imagine what I'm going to show you. There's no slide. I don't know why it's not working. This is... Okay. Troubleshooting. Okay, so now, yeah, I had to do on the projection. Okay, now everybody knows that you can insert videos, right, in PowerPoint. Huh? Do I need to show you how to insert video? No, so I have inserted a video here, okay, on this slide. You see that? But what most people don't know in 2013, which people go to Movie Maker and so on, actually, do you know that you can trim the video in PowerPoint? So I'm going to show you how that is done. For example, when I go to playback, they have a feature which is very powerful. Okay, sorry. Here, you go here, you see that? They see here? They have trim. You can see that? So when I click trim, I can actually trim the video live. So instead of, you know, sometimes when you download a video, you don't want to show the whole thing, right? You just want to show a little sparkle from it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to trim it a bit. I've seen this guy. I want to start here when she's opening her mouth. And then even if I want to trim it there, I can trim it some. Oh, that's perfect. Wait. Is she blowing her mouth? Okay. Okay, there. I stopped. So now instead of running the video from the beginning and end, I'm cutting it. So when I want to show I'm scared to show the presentation now because I might lose it. But the thing is, when I show the presentation video now, it will start where I trimmed it. And this is a very nice feature in PowerPoint that can help you. So you don't have to, if you download a video, you put into Movie Maker, you cut it. No, you can actually do it straight in PowerPoint. Okay, that's one of the features that is really nice. There are a lot of features. I'm just showing you with some. Okay, and then this one. Okay, another one is crop a picture. I used to do that last time in other tools, Paint, Photoshop. You can do that now in PowerPoint. Everybody knows how to crop a picture? Okay, basic stuff, okay? And then the other one is remove background. You know, one of the biggest things when you have images, you want to remove background. And you can do that by simply clicking on the picture, okay? Double click, and then you go to Format. You can see there. And then you see Remove Background. Let me just use my pointer, easier. You see that? So when you click Remove Background, you can see that I can, that's me by the way, if you're wondering. Okay, let me just do the pointer. Okay, you can see here, you can see it's not perfect, right? You see my hair is missing, getting older, what to do. Okay, so I can actually move it a bit here and say that you can do the drag, or you have features like mark areas to keep or mark areas to remove, okay, which is sometimes I want to maybe keep some areas. I'm just going to show you. I can see, oh, this is to remove, sorry, or areas to keep. Maybe I want to keep my shirt, you know, so I can do that, okay. So it's sticky sometimes when the picture and the background is same. Another thing that you might not know, can I just have the mic down here, okay, is that how many of you use clip art? Okay, do you know what clip art? Clip art is the one based on shapes, okay? So say that I have this guy here. I like him very much, but I don't like the background. So what you could do, for example, you can ungroup. Okay, I'm doing it a bit fast because I only have 10 minutes. You do it twice, and I can delete different aspects. I can keep the whatever I like in the picture. So these are just showing you things that you can't do with many other tools, but it's very powerful, okay? And then if I want to regroup them, I could regroup, okay? And another thing that's very powerful, of course, is, you see that alien? Is he looking at me? No, he's not looking at me. So I will have to rotate him. So I can use the rotation format, rotate. So now I'm going to make him face me. It's supposed to face me, so I probably clicked the wrong one, okay? Rotate, and there, now he's looking at me, okay? So this is another interesting feature that helps you, okay? You might not be excited yet, don't worry. I haven't come to the pinch, okay? And another thing, of course, is artifacts, okay? This is something that started, I think, in 2010. You can see this there. I have joined two pictures, my head and the Transformers, and I could make it into a cartoon, okay? You can see different features here. I can make it blur. I can do so, and so, and so, and so on. You understand? So this is just an example that you can be more artistic, okay? The output now is not so nice, but I can share with you later my slides if you want. I have a lot of slides and things. And then I'm so excited, so I have to show you things. And another thing which is really powerful, if you're very creative, you could use shapes. You know shapes? You can create your own graphics on the fly. Okay, so see that spaceman? Let's create him a car, a space car, okay? I'm going to use some shapes here. You can see, let's do, insert shape. Let's film a car. I'm doing this live to show you. And then you have, see, look now. You have something called merge shapes. So I can even merge the shapes, make it into union, okay? Does it look nice now? Not really. So I have a lot of special effects. I make it a bit 3D. Does it look like a car yet? Not really. So let's have some windows. Okay, let's put a window here. It's blue, not so, let's make it a bit gray. It doesn't have wheels. We could make some wheels here. What color is the wheels? Okay, make it black. And then I copy and paste 4. Let's do that. Does it look like a wheel? Maybe not. Let's do 5 wheels. Some innovation to car. We can sell more wheels. Okay. And maybe I want to put in, make the tires look a bit more spacey. I could put a, I can go on up, but should I make it white? So let's put, just showing example, and make it 3D, put some function there, and so on. And of course, to make it, I would have probably done the whole way. And then, don't worry if you don't know what I'm doing. I'm just showing you how it can be done. And then I make it to the back, and now you cannot see it. I make it further back. What happened to my alien? Did I delete my alien? Oh, I have to return my alien, sorry. I copy paste him again, bring him back, and then voila, he's a bit big, isn't he? Okay, now he's sitting in my new vehicle here, and maybe he's supposed to look at me, and I go here, and so you see how fast you can do things. I think that's really the power of PowerPoint. If you know how to play with shapes, you can do a lot of things. If you're doing medical, you can create stethoscope, you can create a lot of things actually just with shapes. And the beauty when you use a shape, you can change the color of it, okay? If you look example here, I just want to share another example here, okay? You see this here, this iPad or iPhone or Android is done in PowerPoint, just using shapes, okay? And you can even have activity with students to do creative things with shapes. You can do the most amazing things with shapes. I just showed you in less than 1 minute on how to develop a space vehicle that looks a bit fuzzy, okay? And there's so many other things. You've got Smart Up, awesome transitions. Let me just show you this transition. Okay. Oh, I did a mistake, but let's see what happened. Okay. You see this transition here? This is in PowerPoint 2003, and we have this problem again. I don't know why it's like that, but what to do? But that's not the exciting thing I came today. I just showed you basic stuff, okay? But what is the latest stuff? I think Prof. Jai was trying to share with you, and I'm trying to get back to normal here. I got another 2 minutes, 3 minutes, okay? Okay. Okay, now back to normal. Okay. The most exciting thing, as Steve Jobs used to say, what did Steve Jobs used to always say? He used to say, one more thing. And that is PowerPoint has launched something called, I'm not working for PowerPoint or Microsoft, by the way, but they have actually launched something called Office Mix. And in IMU, we are required to develop iLectures and blah, blah, blah. And it allows you to now record your voice, put in interactivity, and also even quizzes into PowerPoint, and you can publish it. Either publish it to the servers, or you can publish it as a video material. And, okay, this is how, I'll just show you now, because if I show you now, it will hang again. You can see here, so you'll download this app from the Office Mix site. It's only 5 megabytes, and you get a nice ribbon there, and you can do all the stuff here. You can, let me just show you, you can record audio, you can add quizzes, very basic. It's very, not special, but a few type of questions, like multiple choice and fill in the blanks and so on. And then you have screen recording. You can actually do screen recording directly, then put into your PowerPoint. And you can do a screenshot. And the most powerful thing that I find that was missing in other tools like Articulate and so on is My screen missing. Okay. I want to show you now. I want to show you live, and then I'll close my session. It's very funny. I've never experienced this before. Huh? Maybe VQ or something, I don't know. But anyway, you troubleshoot on the spot. The thing is, let's just look at it, okay? You have here all the features here on the, you can see pointing there. Okay. Is that you can record, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to live record for you, show you how it works, okay? Hopefully the screen won't run. I can record my slides. Huh? You can see here, this slide is blank, so I'm going to go to the next slide. I could put in a thumbnail, or let's just put my interior camera. Hello, there I am. You can see the green screen here. So I'm going to start recording. What I like about it has free drawing. So let me just show you. I'm going to record now. I'll just use the red, okay? This is live going VCube, okay? Okay, welcome to Office Mix, okay? Today I'm going to talk about Office Mix. So I could actually draw here. And sometimes when you're teaching stuff, you want to highlight stuff, free drawing. And then I'm going to talk about how to click to begin and so on. And when you stop, you just click stop or pause, boom, and it saves. And then I can straight away just preview what I have done. You could have a video there, you could not have a video there, or you can make the whole screen a video. And then the best part of it is when you finish, okay, I don't want to look at myself, okay. When you finish, you can actually export it to an MP4 format, okay. But if you have interactivity, it will be gone. So for interactivity, go for storyline. If you want to get headaches and zooming and delicious mind mapping kind of way, what do you call it? Prezi is really good. But if you want to have do things quickly and manipulate images, you want to create very visual presentations and so on. And now with Office Mix, you can actually do recorded lecture with audio, with animation, with free drawing, and with screen recording and quizzes. You could actually use PowerPoint. And I have always used PowerPoint, but I haven't been excited since, I think, on Friday when I came buzzing him. And it's very exciting, this tool. But in terms of design of slides and so on, if you want to see how I design slides, I mean static slides, you can go to SlideShare Z. If you Google SlideShare Z, you can see about 86 different slides on, and you can see, you can do all these visual things and so on. But I think that's not the point. When it comes to great presentations, it's really about the presenter, and it's about you engaging the audience and bringing to life what you want to share. And the slides are your sidekick, or it amplifies what you want to say, I think. So the bottom line is really you. If you're not good at what you're doing, these tools are not going to help you so much. It could maybe, but at the end of the day, it's you. But these tools can amplify yourself, whether it's face-to-face, online, or in blended mode. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, the score is, okay, now I think what we do is the three speakers are here. Let's just open for questions, okay, about the three tools, and then hopefully the experts can share their insights on how to do more stuff, if you want to do more stuff or make it more interactive and so on. And what's your experience, okay?